Nietzsche never saw death as humanity's greatest enemy. He didn't worship it. He didn't deny it. He simply refused to blame it. For Nietzsche, death was not the catastrophe. The catastrophe was how people lived before it. Modern society hides death behind hospital walls, entertainment screens, and comforting beliefs. We avoid it, soften it, delay it, as if ignoring it might cancel it. But Nietzsche saw something unsettling in this behavior. People weren't afraid of dying. They were afraid of discovering that they never truly lived. Nietzsche observed that most human beings don't live. They function. They follow routines, obey expectations, and inherit values without ever questioning them. Life becomes repetition, safe, predictable, approved. And when such a life approaches its end, death feels cruel, because it takes away something that was never fully owned. Nietzsche called this condition nihilism. Not just the belief that life has no meaning, but the exhaustion that comes when meaning is outsourced, when morality is inherited, when purpose is borrowed, when people stop creating values and start consuming them. In this state, death feels like theft, because life itself was never claimed. Nietzsche flipped the entire question. Instead of asking, "How do we escape death?" he asked, "What kind of life would make death powerless?" This is where his idea of amor fati emerges, the love of one's fate. Not passive acceptance, not surrender, but radical ownership. A life lived so deliberately that even pain, failure, and loss are affirmed, not because they were pleasant, but because they were chosen. A person who loves their fate doesn't beg for immortality. They don't need heaven as compensation. They don't ask the universe for another chance. They say, "This was my life, and I stand by it." Nietzsche believed death terrifies those who postpone themselves, those who delay courage, who trade authenticity for comfort, who wait for permission to become who they are. That is why he introduced the Bermensch, not a superhero or a ruler, but a creator of values, someone who does not borrow meaning from religion, tradition, or society, but forges it through action. For such a person, death is not an interruption. It is a conclusion. Then Nietzsche delivered one of the most unsettling ideas in philosophy: eternal recurrence. Imagine, he said, that your life must repeat forever. Every moment, every mistake, every joy, again and again, eternally. Would that thought crush you, or would you say yes? If the idea feels unbearable, Nietzsche would argue the problem isn't eternity. The problem is the way you're living now. A life worth living once should be worth living infinitely. Nietzsche despised moral systems that turned life into a waiting room, where meaning exists after death, not here. Because when people are taught to live for later, they stop building meaning now, and when life is empty, death becomes terrifying. Nietzsche wanted a humanity strong enough to face death without illusions. Not with despair, but with dignity. He didn't ask us to deny fear. He asked us to earn it, because in the end, death does not ruin life. A half-lived life does. So the real question is not what happens after death. It is this: if death came today, would your life be complete, or merely interrupted?